Kumbaya, my lord. This isn't just kumbaya talk. Purpose drives impact. Looking to empower up your day? Tune in to Evolve Together with Empower People on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. Join me, host and Empower People founder Tiffany Joy Greene, MBA, as I bring dynamic leaders, change makers, and entrepreneurs to share their journeys, challenges, and successes while driving their purpose to drive positive impact and empower people. Empower People is an organization that provides education, connection, and support to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. Catch us every Tuesday at 5 a.m. on ESPN Richmond and join Empower People today. What are you waiting for? We even have a free membership. That's right, free. Visit www.empowerpeople.org. That is MPWRPeople.org. You can also visit us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Evolve Together. Welcome to Evolve Together with Empower People, the show that brings you inspiring stories, expert insights, and transformative advice on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. I'm your host, Tiffany Joy Greene, founder of Empower People, otherwise known as Manic Mabel. Figure that one out. Princess of Purpose, and some other names we're not going to get into right now. Each week, we dive into topics that are rooted in how purpose drives business and positive impact. Join us as we connect with dynamic guests, explore innovative ideas, and empower you to evolve and thrive in every aspect of your life. Stay tuned because together we can achieve greatness. Let's evolve together. To learn more about Empower People, you can visit www.empowerpeople.org. That's MPWRPeople.org. Remember, drop the vowels out of empower. Or find us on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. #Empower People. So today we have a special guest, Chris Mayfield. If you're watching this, you may not recognize him. He is not wearing his usual, I'm going to call it costume, he may not, which is the hoodie. Chris, how does this new outfit make you feel today? Do you feel like
Well, I try to live my life in a hoodie when possible, but sometimes you have to put on a collared shirt. And normally that involves a judge. I kind of feel like I'm being judged here, or I'm getting ready to be sentenced for something that I didn't do. But I'll try and power through it. Collar only hurts for so long, and
Chris,
nope,
Chris,
no sirens. No sirens are coming to get me.
the herald, the sirens sing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like a lawyer in this shirt. Yeah, that's an old movie reference, but anyways.
You said lawyer, so is it in fact true, Chris Mayfield, that there have been a plethora of individuals coming to us with business development questions and they are so confused? They are missing the link, the secret sauce to uncovering the truth of business development. Is that in fact true, Chris Mayfield?
It is mostly true. So most
Unacceptable answer. You must say yes or
so
no.
no. It is true, because business development isn't easy, right? And if you can spend a lot of time doing a lot of the wrong things, and it becomes frustrating. And there's no shortage of people that want to give you advice who really don't know um, uh, what business development is and what it is at its core. And so can become confusing. And then whenever you don't quite understand it and then you're not successful and you keep trying things, it becomes exasperating. But business development is developing your business, right? It's sales, it's growing, it's bringing people into your ecosystem to buy your products or services or contribute in some way. So when we have a clear understanding of what our purpose of our business is and a clear understanding of what our message, our products and services are, and then a clear, repeatable, actionable process that we're going to follow every single time or nearly every single time, it becomes less confusing and you become much more.
You froze there just for a second there, but that's okay because that gave me an opportunity to do a plug-in for one of my favorite professors in graduate school. His name, he taught marketing, and it was Professor Sethi. And he said, I believe it was the first day of class, that's how I remember it, is he said, what do you think the most important part to any business is? And the school I went to, Clarkson University, very engineering dominant, supply chain management dominant. There were a lot of folks in the MBA program, like business management. So I'm telling you this because think about all these hands being, I know the answer to that question. And most of the people, because you got to have context of who's in the room, right? So lots of people are like, well, if you don't have a product, you have nothing to sell, so you don't have a business. And then some of the engineers are like, well, if you can't produce the product, it doesn't really matter. Then you don't have anything to sell, right? And little old me said, well, if you don't have any customers, doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right. And so Professor Sethi said that is the first time anybody actually got the question to that question answered correctly. And I was like, and I think he was 100% right. So if you don't have a customer, if you don't have people you're selling to, and I think selling has a bad connotation to it, right? So I think speaking to your point in terms of business development, it's not, and I'm teeing you up. If you're wondering
Yeah. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get.
It's not about selling. It's about discovery. It's about trying to find out for folks what are their true pain points. And until you really know them and you know their business and what their true pain points are, you can't possibly give them solutions until you can appropriately diagnose. And that's another thing I learned while I was in the MBA program, serving as a marketing manager for a media company, because that was in fact, if I just packaged real nicely the training I received, that's in fact what they taught me. You're not here to sell media. You're here to uncover what their pain points are. And then if media is a solution, fantastic. If not, give them other solutions. So I know you have something to say about that, Chris.
Yeah. So, when I've been in, my leadership development firm, almost, and almost 100% of my clients, and I'm not exaggerating, nearly 100% have all come from referrals, right? And those people call me because they got a recommendation from somebody else. There's implied credibility there, but the reason that is the easiest sale in the world is when somebody else gives you endorsement, right? When somebody else says, hey, Chris knows what he's doing, call him, right? But if you're in the beginning or you don't.
Apologize, folks. Chris Mayfield lives in a more rural area, which means that his internet's a little bit off. Oh, he's back. He's back. Sorry. I was just letting the folks know about why you paused there for a moment.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I live in one of the beautiful rural areas here in Virginia, and consequently, we have rural internet, is what I call it. So it can be iffy, just like business development can be iffy, right? So we work with what we got. So if you are struggling to get business, you're not getting as much business as you think you should. Let's step back and look at the processes that you're using, and are you growing a business network along the way? Because it's the ecosystem, it's the relationships that you build, not only with your direct client, but the people that you are referring others, potential clients that you can't really help, or you wouldn't be the best to serve them, refer them over to somebody and somebody else, and that referral most of the time will come back to you. And so when we think about the fog of business development, I like to think about it in phases, right? So I'm an old retired Marine, and we do everything in order, right? We do step 1, step 2, step 3, right? It's really no different than when you go to college, right? You got your 101 courses, you got your 201, right? And you got you just keep going and each one is a building block. Well, business development is the same way. And if we don't have a process that we follow and we don't have kind of guide rails to help us move our potential clients and clients through that system, then it's really easy for them to drop out or to fall off and not be clients when they should be. So, I like to think of business development in kind of three-step process. And the first step, well, let's call it four. The first one is kind of your prospecting, right? Is when you're out trying to meet people, whether it's via LinkedIn or Facebook or networking events, right? We're trying to generate those leads for people that you eventually want to talk to in greater detail. So lead generation would be technically, I guess, your first step if you want to be technical about it. But then comes that IC, that initial contact, right? And that's where you're meeting somebody really for the first time. Maybe you've Googled them ahead of time or you hopped on their LinkedIn, and that's all fine. You should do that research. But this is the first time you're meeting this person, and what is the outcome that you expect out of IC, out of initial contact? And for me, when I think about it, there's two possible outcomes. Well, three possible outcomes. The person doesn't need any help. They got it all squared away, right? They're perfect, right? We know that's a fictitious person. That person isn't out there. That business isn't out there. The second outcome is that you are going to move on and have another meeting where you're going to learn more about that person. Or the third outcome is where you discover that you're not going to be, that person does in fact have a need, but it's not something you can handle. So you're going to refer over to a partner or a referral partner, or so three outcomes, right? Every IC is going to end in one of those three ways. So if it happens to be number two, which is the discovery phase, where we're going to share information and learn more about our client or our potential client, and we're going to ask a ton of questions. We're going to spend time with them. We're really going to learn what they need, right? You're buying a car, great. Well, do you need to carry 8 kids? Do you need to carry a softball team? Do you just want a 2-seater? What do you really need, right? So, or I need business, or I need a software package. Well, what do you need the software to do? What is so? And so that's where the discovery phase is, where you learn those things about your potential client. And discovery, just like IC, is going to end in one of three ways. Either you're going to figure out that you can't help them and you refer them, or you can help them, or they're perfect, right? So really, it's only going to be one of the first two, because nobody's perfect except for Tiffany. So I know it's hard to believe. Write it down. I said it. So in the event that after your discovery phase, you can refer them out, that's great. You've made a friend, developed an additional relationship with that person you're going to refer to. You're building that ecosystem, that community. In the event that you can help them and they want help, and this is important, they can pay for it, then you move into what's called the presentation phase. So the presentation phase is simply where you say, literally, here is what you told me your problems are. And they'll either say, yes, that's my problem, or no, that's not my problem. If they say, no, that's not my problem, you go back to discovery and you ask a bunch more questions, right? But let's assume that you've done a good job in discovery and you understand their problems. They agree that you understand their problems, right? Because we want that alignment. You have to understand what their problem is. They have to understand what their problem is, and they want to fix it, right? So those three elements. If all of that happens, you have complete alignment, then you're ready to talk solutions and pricing, right? So that's kind of an outline, a basic outline of business development. Very simple. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. It's only more complicated than that if we want it to be.
I agree. I'm gonna use the analogy. I love how you explain. This is the analogy I use to explain business development too, which correlates exactly with what you said. So I always go back to healthcare because who hasn't been to a doctor, right? And when you go to a doctor, let's say it's popular icky season, right? Lots of sicknesses going around, and a lot of people I hear have sore throats. So you have a sore throat, and you heard Tom down the street and Susie in school, all the strep throats surrounding you, and you're just like, I got strep throat. I'm going to the doctor. I'm going to the doctor's. Hey, Jim's got strep throat. Susie's got. I'm surrounded by strep throat. Give me a Z-Pack. Let's call it a day. I got strep throat. My throat's hurting. And the doctor gives you the Z-Pack. And you're like, I got this, go, you're popping the Z-Pack, you're fine. But, the days keep going on and you're not noticing any improvement, right? So you make another appointment with the doctor. You go back to the doctor and the doctor's like, you say to the doctor, man, the Z-Pack's not working. You got to give me another prescription, right? Let's say you keep going through this and your sore throat never goes away because he just keeps prescribing you a different prescription. You're going to get pretty agitated with that doctor, aren't you? Because
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
should have the doctor have done from the very beginning, long before you diagnosed yourself?
Yep, he should have done he should have done a strep test and whatever. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what he should completely do, but I know one thing for sure: he should do whatever diagnostic test needs to happen to confirm that I have strep throat.
Right, all the basic diagnostic testing. So every time you go to the doctor, what are some of the things they do? It doesn't matter what you're going in for. Blood pressure, temperature. Let me listen to your lungs. These are the basics, right? These are the basic fundamentals. These are litmus tests. They are KPIs, whatever you want to call them. So it helps them really understand what's going on with your body. And they're going to look inside your throat because it tells, do you have white spots? If you have white spots, that's an indicator of strep throat. So when you're doing business development, so in essence, right, that's diagnostic, is a discovery phase, right? It's like you gotta, like, if you're a scientist, you have to test your theory. You got to do a bunch of tests before it actually becomes a reality. That's the same thing in business development. So think about it this way: if you're in business development, do you want to go to that doctor you don't like who just keeps handing you prescriptions and it's not working? Or do you want to be the doctor who actually takes the time to get to know you, to properly understand what your real problem is, to then come up with the right solutions for you? Because some of us will say, and I hate this, Chris, well, this isn't a life or death situation.
Maybe,
Well,
maybe,
maybe not, but you're
maybe not.
messing with your business life, which could have an effect on employees, your clients. It's a domino effect. You are messing with lives, and you don't know what that trickle effect is going to be. So take it seriously.
And when I think about referral partners and community partners, the impact is far greater than just your business. It's true, you may have employees, you may have all those things, but all your employees stop at gas stations on the way, right? Or they stop at their local grocery store, all those things, or even yourself. All those people are now kind of dependent on your business, right? Because we don't live in this by ourselves. We have this whole ecosystem around us that depends on your business being healthy. So, business development is a way to keep a properly structured and executed business development plan is the way to keep your business healthy.
And
your community
final
also.
thoughts, because I know we got to wrap it up, Chris, right?
Yeah.
Final thought is, guess what? And I'm not saying this directly to you. I'm just saying this to the listeners, which is business development is not about you. It's about the person you're talking to. So if you're in with the meeting, this is funny. If you're ever in a business meeting with a good business developer and another business developer, it's really hard to have a conversation because they never want to talk about themselves. So they keep trying to pass it. It's really funny. I don't know. Have you experienced that, Chris?
I have. Yeah. I have.
It's a good time. It's a good time. So I'm going to, any last words before I wrap up?
I actually do. If you are watching, listening, hearing this after the fact, no matter what it is, look, if you are having a problem, right? Whether you're depressed, you're struggling financially, you're struggling in relationships, we want you to know that there's help. You don't have to struggle alone, right? So whatever it is in your life, whatever is bringing you down, whatever is keeping you from living your best life and fulfilling your dreams, there's help. And we want you to get that help, whether it's us or whether it's somebody else. Please seek that out.
And we'll help you find it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Because it's the right thing to do. So thank you, Chris, and thank you for everyone for tuning into Evolve Together with Empower People here on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. I'm your host, Tiffany Joy Greene, and it's been a pleasure sharing this time with you. We hope today's episode has inspired you, provided valuable insights, and empowered you to take the next step in your purpose-driven journey. Don't forget to connect with Empower People on social media, share your thoughts, praise Chris Mayfield on his attire, and join the Empower People community where education, connection, and support is offered to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. Until next time, keep evolving, stay empowered, and remember that together we can achieve greatness. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next episode, or the flip side for us old timers, of Evolve Together with Empower People. Let's evolve together.